Hello, cyber friends, Mitty Man, coming back at you again for Walker's Music. Yep, another word for today. We just thank God for life, health, and strength, as well as it is. God still is in charge. We done went through another worship service day, and matter of fact, everything was on the up and up. Everything was just went according to the plan. Let me push this up a little bit, get that backlight out of the way. God is really moving people in our land, and we just wanted to come back and just say a few more words of encouragement to everyone. Everybody needs encouragement in these days and times, especially with the economy the way it is. A lot of people rely. We understand that things are not like it once was, but God is still in control, people. I believe that. Go and give a big shout out to the YouTube fam from Baby Justice. We heard about the good news in your prosperity, man, and your health coming back. God is doing his thing, which we already know God can do. That's no surprise. To Big Papa JT and Mama JT. And we just thank God and give God the glory. And I just can't say enough. I just can't say enough, but I'm gonna have to pause this for a second. I'm sorry about that, sorry friend, but I had to break away. And as I was just saying, I was giving a shout out to Mama JT as well as Papa JT, and we were giving God the glory for our baby brother, Baby Justice. And we just give God the grace, we give God the honor, we give him the praise, point blank. I wanted to say something to people in reference to a lot of things that I've been hearing. Love covers a multitude of sin. I got the oil this chair. Love covers a multitude of sin. And if we look at the life of Jesus, first of all, before I say that, let me say this. To whom much is given, much is required. Now, the reason Mitty Man said this, people, is because I noticed one thing. I noticed among many, but I did notice one thing about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ when he walked this earth. And when it came to this is how come I say you got to be careful when you try to teach and preach and leadership, when you want to be in leadership, because when too much is given, much is required. And I noticed how Jesus, he always frowned on those Pharisees. And I wondered about that. I wondered, why did Jesus was very tough on them. But to the other people, the one that was sinners and knew it, that's the key. Sinners and knew it. Jesus had very much compassion. Very much compassion. Loved them. But he'll turn to those Pharisees and he called them blind guides, hypocrite. Have y'all noticed that? And I often wonder, why did Jesus do that? And it was for the simple reason that I'm speaking to you right now. Because he knew their heart. Jesus knew their heart. He said, everything that they tell you to do, the Pharisees, the teachers of the law, you do it. Jesus told the people that. He said, everything that they tell you to do, you do it. Because what? They knew the law. They knew it. Every jot, they knew it. And Jesus knew that, but that's a requirement. If you do your study, you will know that in order to be a Pharisee or Sadducee or rabbi or teacher of the law, you had to know the Torah. So they knew it. So therefore, Jesus said, everything they tell you to do, you do it. But don't you do according to what they do. See, that was the difference. That's how come Jesus frowned on them so much. Because they put heavy burdens on the people, but they themselves didn't do it. This is how come I said we must be very careful, people, when we start judging folk, beating people over top of the head, and just having no compassion for folk. Because really, Jesus frowned on you more. Because you see, when you start teaching this word, and if everybody just really be honest with themselves, there's some T's that you didn't cross and some I's you haven't dotted either. We all got our shortcomings. Jesus had compassion for the people. That was it. See, in other words, those people that were sinners, they were sinning and they knew it. They didn't try to cover it up, and they didn't try to make themselves look good in the eyes of the public, as the Pharisee did. Jesus said, "You a blind guide, and you a bunch of hypocrites." He called them snakes. He said, "You brood of vipers." That's what Jesus called them. So I used to wonder about that, but then I knew why. Because see, sometimes people, our arrogant attitude. See, when you teach this word, you teach, I teach it. The one that teaches held responsible for what he teach. This is how come a lot of time in ministries that the ministers get caught up. God forbid, the Satan trying to trip up everybody can. But people put your life up on a microscope. When you claim that you are Christian, people put your life on a microscope. And your light, Jesus said, you are the light of the world. I said that on a prior video. So people are going to make certain that they hold you to the letter of the law. Now, why did I say the letter of the law? Because people, Jesus did not come to destroy the law. Oh no, Jesus did not come to destroy the law. The Ten Commandments, he the one. Who do you think gave Moses the Ten Commandments? It was Jesus. It was Jesus. So what did he meant? Thou shalt not kill. He didn't just say that because he didn't have nothing else to say. He meant thou shalt not commit adultery. But the thing about it, people, those laws are there because you got to have a standard that never changed to let you know that you couldn't do it. That's all it is. The law was given. Jesus came and fulfilled that law. He kept it to the letter for me and for you. Because we couldn't do it ourselves, people. We can't keep it. But through grace and our acceptance of the perfect work of the cross of Calvary, and once we accept the sacrifice that he made so long ago, that entitles us and makes us right with God. People, let me say that again. Through what Jesus done, by him keeping the law perfect, entitles us, and it is imputed to us, the righteous. Now that God looks at me, he don't look at me, man. He looking at what? He look at his blood of his son that is covering me, man, and covering you. That's what it's all about, people. So when we need to stop beating people across the head, talking about you ain't doing it. Well, it was one time we wasn't none of us doing nothing right. And right now we are not too far from doing what we were doing before we became saved. We just one step away. Remember what it said. Jesus said, I am the vine, ye are the branches. Except you abide in me. You can't bear no fruit, no way. You can't bear good fruit. But except you abide in me. He said, without me, ye can't do nothing. So that take away the arrogance. But remember, him that teaches is held accountable even more so than the ones he teaches. That goes back to, like I said, our brother JT, I saw one of your videos not too long ago about the apostleship and the disciple. Apostle being the one who teaches, and then a disciple are the people who learn. Sometimes it'd probably be better to be a disciple than to want to be an apostle. You know, wherever our gifts is, that's where I believe, many man, but see, like I said, I can't talk to nobody else. But whatever our gift is, whatever it be one, some people can do more than one thing. Remember God, the parable, Jesus said one had 5 talents, 1, 2, 1, 1. We know that this, excuse me, in this here respect, it was more likely talking about maybe money, but it can mean a many thing. But some of us are not using our real gift because we are too busy trying to be. You see, if you are a minister of the word and God have called you to, see, everybody's not called to a church. Everybody's not called to a church, a pastor. Well, see, first of all, we all are ministers. We all can proclaim. That's a matter of fact, every believer should be able to proclaim the gospel. Every believer. But everybody's not called to quote unquote, the local church. You're not called to be a pastor. A pastor's heart got a heart for the people. He got a heart for the people. Everybody don't have the same heart. Remember, I think I did a video, somebody asked me about attitude and personality. This here really drive that home, and I'm going to get through with this here. May come back with another one later on, part 2 to it. A pastor's heart got a heart for the people. He will go out of his way. It's just like Jesus said, how many a true shepherd, he'll leave the 99 and go look for that one lost sheep. That's a pastor's heart. Everybody don't have a pastor's heart. Is that a sin? No, it's just not your gift. All of us need to be able to tell everybody the hope that we got in us through our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. We should be able to tell that. But that don't mean that I got to be behind a pulpit to do that. That may not be my calling. I may get here at my keyboard and play some little smooth chord and just speak of the wonderful thing of God. And it'll be more effective if that's my calling than if I would go up into a Joel Osteen church and preach to 1,000. See, we want, some of us, this is what Jesus was saying, the danger of it. I spoke about this morning, about prosperity. See, some of us want a national ministry. Why don't you just do it in your local church? Start at your local church. Don't worry about being a national musician or a national preacher or national this. Forget that. Start right there in your own household. Start right there in your own little community. And if God will for you to be at these places, he'll put you up there. But we try to put ourselves up. And that's what the danger is all about. That's where the danger lies in. That's it. So in this last couple of seconds, I'm just challenging. I just feel good about this. Just say that, you know, it's good to, when you learn better, you try to do better. And it's all about the love of God. It's not about letting people run over your people. I'm not telling you that. But the love of God means, to me, now if somebody can come back and say something different, I'll listen. But the love that Jesus was speaking of have for your brothers and your sisters is to not let people walk all over you. No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. But Jesus said these words: if your enemy thirsts, give him something to drink. If you're hungry, give him something to eat. That's what he said. Visit the father, the homeless, those that are in jail, the widows. Visit, meaning not just go talking about, oh, I went over there. No, do something. Do something for them. That's what visit means. Take care of some needs. These are the things Jesus said do. Now, he didn't say that according to how they did it to you. No, he said, just as you would that men do to you, that's what you got to do. So therefore, if my enemy thirsts, I got to give him something to drink, because that's what I want. If I'm thirsty, I want somebody to give me something to drink. That is the real love that God is talking about. That's the real love Jesus was talking about. Not for somebody to run over you, even though they may despitefully use you. Remember the Sermon on the Mount. He said, you still do good. You do good. You don't have to lay down and let nobody walk on you, but you do them good. Even though you know that they are despitefully using you, because really, remember, the real enemy is not the people. It's the devil. Secret. Proclaim it. But I'm telling you, it's the devil. That's the real enemy. People are not our enemy. But it's Satan that gets into people and uses folk to accomplish his will. And unless we renew our mind, they'll get us too. So that is the key. That is the key. Love. That's it. Remember, hear ye, O Israel, the Lord our God is one Lord. Therefore we should love him with all our heart, mind, soul, and all our makeup. And the second one is like unto it. Love your neighbor as yourself. On these two rests all the law and the prophet. This is the Mighty Man saying peace, goodbye.